Hey guys! All right, so I'm back, and today I want to talk about how you can shift because it's totally possible for you. It is totally possible for any person watching this video to shift into living a life that they totally want to live. So if you're watching this video and you've been kind of stuck in a funk, or you need to shift out of something and something that's holding you back, like something big that you just can't figure out what's wrong with you, then stay tuned, because this video I'm going to talk a little bit about your wiring and how you are literally programmed to create the impact and the income that you are currently experiencing. And okay, so I first of all definitely want to let you know that you are absolutely limitless. You are absolutely limitless. And how do I know this? How do I know this? Okay, because I have a lot of brand new friends on my friends list here. And so a lot of you guys don't really know the details of my story and what I've been able to shift out of, like a 10-year battle with addiction, which, I say that sometimes, I talk about that part sometimes, but I don't talk about what became before that, how my childhood was, all of this stuff that really plays a major role in the way that we show up in the world. And it plays a major role in how much we earn. It plays a role in everything. But just a little side note, you are absolutely limitless. And the reason why I know this is because of what hell I've been through and been back from. And then not only have I gone through the pits of hell, literally homelessness, being so sick that I almost died, literally almost died, just from my body shutting down on me, from having a heart infection in my heart, where one of the valves in my heart didn't pump all the way. It wouldn't work. It would just not close all the way. And, getting sober and, deciding that my life was worth living through 3 years of really fighting through sobriety, trying to live my life like everybody else was. And, whenever I started doing things online, I started in a multi-level marketing company, and it was always the person that people came to and asked for advice, about their business or, personal development and all of this stuff. So that was always kind of where I was focused in my life. And, it was always so interesting to me. And so, I really over time did a lot of studying about our minds and the way that we're programmed. And it's something that I really love to teach people, especially my clients. And I want to, give you guys a chance to really find out what is blocking you, because this stuff is in your nervous system and it's wired in your brain for you to show up the way that you are. But I know that you can get through it, because I look at my life and I look at all of the things that I've gotten through, and looking at all of the success that I'm creating for myself. I know that if you need to get to a place where you're just I'm done, I'm done trying, or, I'm trying so hard and it never comes. All of these things are wired in your brain. You have self-talk. You have this, certain things going on in your nervous system when you think about money, when you think about showing up on live video, whenever you think about just creating a post, when you think about just being visible in front of the world and offering your gifts. You are wired to experience this before you ever even have the experience. You're wired to freak out. Most of us are wired to freak out and not be able to get the important things done. Most of us are wired to be up in our head because it's too painful to be down in our body where we can actually feel. You have let me see, I wrote this down, hold on. You have so many, I think it's 400 billion trees in your brain. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yes, I know where it is. Okay, so I have my journal down here with me. And no, it's 100 billion nerve cells in your brain, and each cell has it can grow up to 200,000 branches on it, and that's 3 billion years of memories. You can build 3 billion years of memories. And so what happens is we have all of these memories that are not conscious, and that's what mindset work is for. It's to bring the unconscious conscious, and to whenever it's conscious, then you can actually do something about it. But other than that, you have all of these memories that you're holding. You're experiencing your brain processing 400 billion actions per second, and your subconscious mind is building memories around those using your 5 senses, and it converts those memories, it converts the actions, it converts the things that you're sensing with your five senses into thought. And that converts into like a structural thing in your mind, which forms like these little trees in your mind. And so we have like these really green, nice looking trees, which are our healthy thoughts. And then we have like these really dark, nasty, ugly trees that aren't really serving much of a purpose other than to keep us stuck. And so those trees do need to be wiped out, but you have to like be able to focus on flooding those trees with positive things. And it's not like putting a positivity band-aid. You first have to bring it up. You first have to know that it's there. And every time one of these trees is formed or these emotions are experienced, your brain actually releases chemicals, and it only knows how to release happy chemicals. You're programmed for love, but most of us are living in fear. Most of us are living in this place of just terrible lack and fear and anxiety and shame, embarrassment and guilt, all of these things that people are actually living their lives like this when we're programmed for love. We are actually programmed for love. And so we don't secrete negative chemicals. What happens is when we have those negative thoughts, it doesn't let go of a chemical. It has to search for the closest thing to it. So if you're thinking about being embarrassed or something, or nervous or shame or guilt or anything like that, you don't have something secreting, so it's going to go for like excitement or happiness or whatever. And so it's going to reach for the closest chemicals that it can find, and then it starts pushing them out. Like it pushes them out so much. And that's why we get things like bipolar, because your mind is actually trying to make up for and trying to actually search around and find what chemicals it needs to produce. And if you're sitting there always thinking negative things or having this negative self-talk, then you're overproducing happy chemicals, and that's what makes us manic, and then it makes us depressed because you're overproducing, and then your brain has to slow down and stop or whatever. So what happens whenever we do mindset work, and when we have these shifts in our lives, we bring up the unconscious and we clear it. And that's not only in your brain, but you have this mind, spirit, body connection to where your mind is basically the soul, and the spirit is your spirit, right? Your higher chakras, and then your body, your lower chakras, which your heart is the soul. Okay, so what happens is that in the soul is where the will and the emotions and all of the ability to process and build these real things come from. All of that connects your body and your spirit together. Okay, so it's this mind body connection that we have, and so that also programs into your nervous system. It's really crazy, because if you think about stepping onto a stage and you're thinking about if you really think about what it would be like to step onto a stage and you feel into your body, you can actually feel something happening. If you think about going live on Facebook, before you actually go live, you can actually feel it in your body. When you think about paying your bills, you actually get a feeling in your body. Whenever you think about, maybe hitting the lottery or something like that, or signing your first $10,000 client or something like that, you actually get a feeling in your body. And if you're wired to believe that money is this negative thing, if your parents always fought about money, if you were always in the middle, caught in the crossfire, if you felt like it was your fault, if you never had enough, or if you only just had enough, all of these things are programmed in you from a young age. And so it's not that the amount of money that you make creates this feelings in your body and your nervous system. It is the feelings in your nervous system that create how much you make and how much you can show up in your authenticity and how much you can show up confidently and be proud of who you are, and to really call in the people that you want to spend your life with. It could be your soulmate. It could be, your dream clients. It can be your biz besties and things like that. All of this stuff is attracted by what you experience in your nervous system. And so I really want you guys to take advantage of this clarity call that I'm offering, because I want to be able to dig those things up. I want to bring the unconscious conscious for you so that you can start to know what to shift, so that you can start to know what to clear for yourself. And I promise you that you can do this. Trust me, I came from a very, 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 very broken mindset, and it took me a long time to actually start to believe that I was worthy of the things that I wanted in my life. But once I started to believe it, once I started to step into my power, I really recognized like how limitless I am. And the same thing is happening with my clients and all of the people that I'm working with in my group programs and all of this stuff. It's real, you guys. This stuff is real, and it's going to be very, very hard to keep ignoring it very much longer. If you want to live life on your terms and you want to stop living life on its terms, you need to know that you really are the creator of your reality, and all the things that are around you and all of the things that are attracted to you are because of what you're experiencing in your nervous system and in your thoughts, in your self-talk, all of this stuff. And I want to help you to be able to reprogram that. So go on to calendly.com. I'm going to type it. Calendly.com/Corey Michelle /clarity. And these were 30 minutes long, but they're more like an hour and 10 minutes. So you guys go and book your call there. It's free. I want to do this for you because I want you to be able to see what you need to bring up so that you can actually shift it, clear it, move it, and get really, really, really clear about what it is that you actually do want in your life and what's holding you back from it. Okay, so go to that link and set up your call, okay? There's no commitment to you. Just do this call. You guys will love this. It's really hard. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not hard. It's hard to look into your shadow self. It's hard to do the work that doesn't feel that good, but it's absolutely necessary. And I promise you, once you sift through all of this stuff that's blocking you from creating the reality that you really want to live in, then you will be amazed. You will never go back. And I just want to talk about one more thing, about like how, there's so many things inside of the Bible that prove that this stuff is real too. And science is finally like catching up with it. Jesus says, as a man thinketh, so in the heart, so he art. So he is, okay? There's all kinds of stuff that I wrote down a whole bunch of like different little things about this, and I was probably just gonna read what I wrote, but I just kind of got in flow there for a second. And now I can't think of anything that I wrote or where I wrote it down. So God says, speak to the mountain, okay? God says, speak to the mountain. And that's like a metaphor for like your thoughts. These things are like mountains in your life, and you have to climb over them. And so that's like truth and the living word of God. Like you have to speak this. You have to speak the living word of God into the things that are poisoning you. That's why the battle is not here in the flesh and blood. It is in the mind. And there's so many other like religions and different cultures and different teachings that go with this. This is the truth, you guys. This is the truth. You were made to experience life as a child of God. And oh no, I'm breaking up. And if you aren't able to experience life in joy and happiness, Jesus said all the time, like, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. But that's what everybody's running around living in fear. Okay. And so when you clear all this stuff up, you're going to be able to live in that place of, not being afraid. You're going to be able to live in a place of love. Like you were created to be in love. You were created to live in love. So I'm going to let you guys go. I have a call in like 3 minutes. So get your free call on, get your clarity call. It'll be a process. But after this call, I promise you, you will be so clear on exactly what you need to work on next so that you can shift it and move it and start experiencing this life of love that you were born to live in. Okay. So I'll see you guys later.